This is Cynthia Toet, your TV host for Your Hidden Love Story. I want you to keep your mindset on the higher vibrational mindset so you can keep living your life and going on this beautiful journey you got. I can't live here without you. We need all of you. You're all here. You have all a special reason, a special purpose, and nobody can do it just like you. Hello everyone, this is Cynthia Toet, your TV host for Your Hidden Love Story. We are on episode 2117, and we are in the middle of doing a mini-series on flipping your emotional story from pain to power, and we're on episode 4 of that. And tonight we're going to talk a little bit about grieving. And the reason why I do go live is I do believe that we have all been misled and misguided by our emotional selves, that I feel like that most of us are operating from our lower vibration. Our go-to energy is one out of fear, doubt, insecurity, not whole enough, not complete enough, feeling like we got to prove ourselves out there to the world or to someone else. My goal here is to try to flip you guys' emotional story around, the one that's going on in the background, to a higher vibrational story, one that is out of love, laughter, play, joy, happiness, peace and harmony, passion and desire. Come on, baby, let's get this show rolling and let's get your life going. And the reason why I want to flip it around is because I want our go-to energy to be one of a higher vibration, but our go-to energy is of a lower one. So anyhow, I am a happiness, love, and relationship coach too, so I'm not just speaking this stuff without knowing what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm speaking from wisdom and knowledge with the emotional self. And grieving isn't just about a loss of a person. It's about loss of dreams, identities, relationships, timelines, expectations, health, different variations of yourself. Grief can come in so many different kinds of ways. I mean, we could talk about grief all year round. I mean, that's how big this emotion is. It's a big topic. For me to just try to cover it in a 30-minute episode, I just want to try to bring some strength back to you guys, okay? Because grief does show up when something has ended. Even if the world told you, be strong, move on, that doesn't matter. When grief shows up, it's not about rushing through the process. It's about allowing it when it comes and to recognize it. So we want to listen to the grief so we can move through it instead of staying stuck in it. And that's what I want to do with it, so we can find a way so we can allow it to happen, but to allow us to move through it easier. Anyhow, so tonight we're going to talk about what triggers grieving, which I kind of just said that up front, but I still have some more. And how it actually shows up in your life or in your body. That's why I want to be doing this episode, is because each of the our lower emotions, they get locked up and stuck in our body somewhere, creating some other kind of illnesses or diseases. Then we're going to talk about what is the purpose of it. How to reframe a tower moment when it happens, when it goes into full effect in the grieving. Do a little bit of EFT. I think we ought to do a lot of EFT, but not tonight, okay? Then talk about the higher vibe, the counterpart to these emotions, because every emotion has a counterpart. And then we're going to talk about some loving action steps, okay? But before I get started with the triggers, I really would like to add this in here first. Grieving is not a one-size-fits-all experience. It's not. There's no timeline, there's no checklist, there is no right way to do it. Some people move through the waves of sadness, others feel numb for a long time, and some may even experience anger, confusion, guilt, relief, or all of it mixed together. So grief comes in stages, but those stages don't line up neatly or move in any order. You may revisit the same emotion more than once, or feel like you're doing okay one day and completely undone the next day. And that doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong. Grief also moves in different depths and different speeds for each person. It depends on what the loss was, how safe you feel, and what else life is asking of you at the same time that you're going through the grieving. This isn't something that you can snap out of or fix overnight. Grieving is a process of integration, allowing your heart and your nervous system to slowly adjust to a new reality. So tonight isn't about rushing through grief. It is about understanding it, honoring it, and giving yourself permission to meet it to where you are within your stage with your grief, okay? What activates grief? What are the triggers? Grief's triggers are sudden, often unexpected. Reminders that the loss, that a spark, intense emotional, something that was emotional, something that was a physical, some kind of reaction, it's just something that reminds us of that moment. It could be triggered, grief can be triggered by anniversaries, by dates, birthdays. A certain day comes along that was a very important day, and then all of a sudden we get triggered just by the date. Or seeing other people move on when you haven't moved on, that could trigger your grief. Or songs that you hear on the radio, or movies that you see, even smells like perfumes, food, colognes, different places. These are triggers. Or those should have moments. I wish we would have done this. We should have been able to do that. A lot of people go through that through the grieving process. Seeing someone who looks like the person, you may see someone that looks just like the person that you lost, and then all of a sudden it sets off the grieving that you didn't even anticipate. It's always unexpected when grieving comes around. To me, it's unexpected. You don't know when it's going to actually hit. Or if somebody wants to talk to you about that one that's lost, that could set off the grieving too. Weddings or anybody that has a similar death experience. Somebody else passes away for the same reason. But not all grief comes from death. It could be from something not being the way that you thought it was going to be. Even you could grieve from being in a long relationship for a long time and no longer in it. I mean, you just don't know what you're going to grieve from. Like the sudden changes in divorce or breakups or job changes or children leaving the home. When they leave the home, their parents are so used to taking care of the child, nurturing the child. Once the child's gone, then it's an empty syndrome nest. But it's real. It's like all of a sudden the parent just doesn't know what to do. Okay. Financial issues can bring on grieving too. And being told that you should be over this by now, don't listen to anyone that says that. Everybody grieves at a different level, and there's so many different emotions that are attached to grieving itself. Each person grieves differently and at different times, at different rates. These triggers can evoke feelings of sadness, anger, guilt, longing, anxiety, and it's important for us to recognize them, and it helps us navigate through the emotional self. Grief resurfaces when the soul feels unseen or unheard. How grief actually shows up in the body. Grief physically manifests as a severe stress response, often causing fatigue, chest pain, a broken heart syndrome, digestive issues, a headache, muscle tensions. It even weakens the immune system, leading to illness, and it disrupts even your sleep patterns. Grief is a heart-based emotion, but it spreads. It spreads. It's like the common. It's like the tightness or the heaviness in the tightness in the chest, or the heaviness in your heart, or it could be a lump in your throat, or some shallow breathing. Fatigue, exhaustion, digestive problems just out of nowhere. It just comes from grief alone, and you can get sick more too. You're weak in the immune system. I'm just giggling because I'm not feeling really well today. So we're talking about grief, and I've had some grief show up. Since I'm talking about it, it starts to show up. So it's a sensitive topic to talk about. I don't even realize I had any grief into me until I start going through what it all is about. So it's sneaky, okay? Grief is actually, it's like the love that you have that's all bottled up. It has nowhere to go, because where it used to go is no longer there. And so it's your love gets bottled up and it starts grieving. Grief can be overwhelming. It's not just our emotions that are affected. The loss we experience can trigger a physical response, putting our body at a high alert. This can lead to inflammation, exhaustion, making it hard to cope with our emotions and our everyday life. What's the purpose of grief? Because there is one. I don't know if I got too much information on it. Grief is not punishment. It's integration. Its purpose is to honor what mattered, to allow emotional truth to soften the heart, not to harden it, to create space for something new, for a new meaning, is to create space, to reconnect with compassion, especially for yourself. Grief slows you down so your soul can catch up. That's the purpose of it. Grief slows you down so your soul can catch up. Crazy, huh? Well, how grief becomes a downfall when it's unprocessed. When we have grief that's suppressed, it turns into depression. It becomes bitterness. numbness. It locks the heart. It manifests in chronic emotional weight. Unfelt grief doesn't disappear. It stores itself. And Danelli was talking about it here, like she was talking about that she can't escape from grief. That's true. We can escape it, you know. When it's felt, it's felt. It doesn't disappear. It stores itself. So reframing grief from pain to power. Let's see, hold on. Yeah, okay. Reframe grief as a sacred passage, not a failure. Proof that there was deep love there and deep connection. It's proof. It's a doorway. It's not a dead end. It is a process. It's not a problem. Power comes when you say, this mattered to me, and I honor that. They mattered to me, and I honored that. Grief doesn't mean that you're broken. It means that your heart is alive. So I'm going to do a little bit of EFT tapping, and then after that I'm going to do a commercial break, and after the commercial break I'm going to bring in some counterparts to grieving, and we'll take it from there, okay? So follow along, you guys. Do it with me while we're live, because I know how we are. When we say we're going to do it later, we procrastinate, we put it off, and we never do it. So just go ahead and do this with me, because I know that we all have some kind of grief locked up and stored in our body somewhere, somehow. So go ahead and do this tapping with me. Tap on your wrist. Say, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I deeply and completely love and accept myself, even though I'm carrying grief in my heart. I deeply, completely love and accept myself. Then we're going to go above your eyes and say, this sadness. And then along the side of your eyes, this heaviness. And then underneath the eyes, this love I still hold. Then underneath the nose, I do my nose and the chin at the same time. I ache in my heart. And now we're going to tap on your chest. This longing, this pain, this suffering, I release it now. This release I allow. I allow this release. Above your eyes, I bring in love to the side of your eyes, to my heart space. I bring in peace to my soul, to the chest. I bring in calmness underneath your arms, within. For I release this grief inside of me now. I release, I release, I release, I release. I deeply, completely love and accept myself. I allow my heart to soften at its own pace. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys, I wrote a book. It's called Flipping Your Emotional Story Around to Better. It's over there on Amazon as an e-copy and a hard copy. I'm going to send you over to my commercial break, and I'll be right back, so stick around. And it's commercial break time. And what's she going to talk about on her commercial? Now, what's she going to talk about? She's going to talk about, did you know that Cynthia Toet, she's an author. She wrote a book this year called Flipping Your Emotional Story Around to Better. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yes, that's the book that she wrote, and it is on Amazon. It is an ebook and a hard copy, whichever you prefer. Go over there right now and grab your copy right now to see what it's going to take to flip your emotional story around to better. Okay, back to the show now. And she's back, and yes, Denali, I did talk about that a little bit. How you might feel like you can hide from grief, but you really can't, because it will come up when it needs to come up. When something comes and triggers that emotion that's hiding deep down inside, something will trigger it. When it triggers it, with everything else that's going on at that moment, that's when the grief shows up, and that's when we want to recognize that we're grieving, and these are the different symptoms. We go ahead and allow. And then after so much of allowing, we go ahead and allow ourselves to release by giving ourselves permission. First, we're giving ourselves permission to feel it, to recognize it, and to be with it, and then to bring love back to yourself. And I love the when the adult self is our mind, and then let's do the heart space is the child within. And I love just going back to my heart space after all my pain and suffering. When I go through it, is I just go back to my heart, and I said, I'm always, always, always going to be here for you. I'm always here with you. I'm going to never leave you, which is true, because your heart's always going to be with you. But what we're doing when we're bringing in that energy into our heart space, we're reconfirming to the heart space that we are here with you. We love you, and we're recognizing that the pain is there, but yet we're nurturing it too. Okay, so. So the counterpart to grief is acceptance, love, compassion, and being present. With deep appreciation, with a soul connection, wisdom, emotional maturity, inner peace. You guys could write all that down too. It's like what is the opposite of grief, or what is the counterpart? What is the counterpart to grief? Acceptance, love, compassion, and presence. And then everything else that I'm mentioning is just different things that it could be. Inner peace, expansion with capacity to love even more. When grief moves, love remains. But it doesn't feel heavy anymore. When grief moves, the love remains, and it lightens. It doesn't feel heavy. It feels soft. It feels warm. It feels fuzzy. Some action steps we can take: loving action steps, small grounded steps. We can create a grief ritual, which I was going to do for this show. I totally forgot about it, but that's okay. I wouldn't have made it in time. But you can make a grief ritual. Maybe I'll do a show on just that. We'll see. Okay, I'm not going to make any promises. That's one thing I don't like to do live, because I'm in Divine's timing. What I operate in Divine's hands. Divine tells me what I'm supposed to do next. Okay. All right. So speak the name, story you've been holding on to. These are just loving acts. You can give it a name. What's the story you're holding on to? Because we can always re-script the story. Like somebody supposed to have a much more time in life than they did, but I always look at the time that they had, and what a blessing it was. I always like to look at what was so neat about that person or place or thing, whatever it is. So it just helps me. Okay. So let yourself cry without any explanation too. It's okay. And place your hand on your heart daily. I think that's really good. You know, it's almost like I said, the mind to me is our adult self. The heart is our child self. So if we're putting our hand on our heart daily, it's our adult saying hi to our child within. It's really warm. It's really soothing. So you guys ought to try that. So simple. I just love who I am. I touch my heart and just bring that love back to self. Allow joy without feeling guilty. It's okay. It's okay to be joyful. Or you can ask yourself, what does my heart need today? What does my heart need today? Some little loving, a little care, a little smile. Grief needs permission. It does not need a fixin', okay? Grief doesn't mean that you're stuck in the past. It means that you're honoring the truth. You didn't heal by forgetting. You healed by integrating love differently. Flipping the story. I grieve because I loved, and I'm still capable of loving again. That's the flip it story. Here, I'll put that in the chat. I grieve because I loved. What's going on here? And I'm still capable of loving again. I hear you, Lucy. Lucy's she walked away from her soul connection, and she cries all the time, and was surprised how many tears that she had for him, but she's always regrounded herself and feels better. And I hear you. And when we disconnect to something that we were connected to, okay, and a soul contract or a soul, or you know, that one that you thought was always going to be there but never showed up, or you know, but just know that you grieve because you loved, and you are still capable of loving again. And go ahead and cry and get those tears out, because that's just a bottled up pain that we've been holding on to from not being loved back. Okay, before we go, as a quick note, I am not a medical doctor. This is not medical advice. What I share here comes from emotional wellness, research, and holistic teachings about the mind, body, and connection. And it's meant to support awareness and emotional healing along the side with professional care if you need so. Take these insights with you. Journal if you like. Notice where your body and your heart are asking for love, peace, and release. Remember, understanding both sides of the emotions give us a direction to lean into. When we know the lower vibration and its higher counterpart, we don't have to settle for being stuck in the heaviness. Once we felt it, recognize it, and are ready to release it, we can consciously choose the flip it side. We can allow our bodies and our hearts to come together and be balanced together, and to return to love, to return to life. All right, everyone, that wraps up tonight's show, Emotional Wellness in the mini-series, Flipping Your Emotional Story Around from Pain to Power. This was episode 4, and we were talking about grief and how it gets locked up into the body, and how, you know, a little bit more, how it affects us, and our emotions, how they affect us, or what it can yeah, what kind of illnesses it can bring, or what kind of sicknesses, or what other symptoms you can get from it, okay? And remember, awareness is power. Recognition is freedom. choosing to flip in the emotional story is the ultimate act of self-love. Remember, recognizing and feeling your emotions is the first step to transforming them. If you guys are looking for one-on-one guidance, I am a happiness, love, and relationship coach, and I work with people just like you to help flip your emotional stories around, to heal old patterns, and to create love and life that you truly desire. You can find more information in my coaching program on my website, which is down there in my description box and in the chat. I think, because Raquel puts the links in the chat, which I appreciate so much. And it's designed to meet you to where you are at and where you want to go. That's what the coaching is designed for. It doesn't matter where you're at. We can take it from where you're at to where you want to go. And for those that are watching the live, stick around. Join us for the after show, where we start revealing your hidden love story on a deeper level. And those watching the replay, make sure you go to watch the beginning of the after show, because there's a reading, a collective, timeless collective reading right up front. It is so awesome. It's so amazing. And I know I do a lot of personal readings over there. Feel free to hang out and listen to other people's readings, because we are all connected in one way or another. So I could be reading for one person, but it can touch the souls of many. So go ahead and listen past the collective reading. And it is packed with genuine insights and energy you will not want to miss. And thank you, everyone, for showing up. Know that you guys are doing self-love work by coming into the live show and showing up. You're showing up for yourself. You need to pat yourself on the back, give yourself recognition for that. And keep feeling, keep healing, keep choosing love. And always, always, always remember, this is your time. It's flipping time. Flipping your story from pain to power. I'll see you next time.